everybody is like a cell phone battery. We all have 100%, right? And then you get down to the red and then there's no more. And I think that those low times, those times of depression, those times when we cry, those times when we're on the red, we have nothing else. There's nothing else. And so what happens is the phone dies. And then you plug the battery in and then you actually charge it back up and then you're ready to use it again. And I feel like the phone being dead is that gray space area where you go through those emotions, you go through that hardship, you go through that ugliness, the depression, the guilt, the shame, the talking out, talking yourself down and talking yourself into depression or out of even getting out of it, and then you plug yourself back in and you recharge and you get back together. And for everybody, that's different. But that dark area where your battery dies, that's where the real work is how do you get back to your charger? How do you fill yourself back up? And I don't think a lot of people know what their charge is. They don't know what their recharge is. And I think when you find that, that's when you start, like Keandra said, failing fast and being able to bounce back. So when that battery dies, you plug right back in because you already know how to do it. That's kind of what it's like for me, is when I feel myself in that red area, my battery is about to die. I'm hitting depression mode. I need to stop. Like, I need to take some time for myself and recharge.
Yeah, I love that analogy. And I was thinking too, we were talking about the phone. I try not to let my phone die because it takes so long for it to recharge and get back. So that's another thing. It's like when I feel that yellow, that red, that 20% hit, I'm learning to train myself then to be like, all right, girl, I know you got stuff to do today, but make sure at least you take a couple extra hours then or do something. Because what we not going to do is shut off. Let's see how high we can keep that battery, And another thing I thought about when you're talking to Erica is that I think is a value in failure is, yes, when we're on those down times, and that was so perfectly put, we need to find what it is we need to charge back up. But it's also those down times that reveal all of the other areas in which need some attention, because you start to hear how you're talking to yourself, or you start to hear how frustrated you're getting with patterns. And I think that that's an added benefit too, even though it hurts just the same.
It's messy.
Yeah.
It is definitely messy to come back from failure, to learn from the failure. I really like that analogy about the battery, because I think that once you get into like healing yourself and, bouncing back or, coming back with the resilience, all of those things, you start to realize what your practices are. And that's totally, what I believe in, and a lot of what I believe that I teach, and just create space for people to do that, because it is the practices that we have to come back to that recharge, help us to reboot, and even just that self-awareness that allows us to figure out, like, all right, like I'm feeling the tears bubbling up, like the knot is in the throat, like
that throat.
Yeah, like
start swallowing
it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Swallow it down.
Nose getting all red.